Hi everyone. Today's Career Talks guest is Nursultan. He is working currently in Meta. Before I know that he was working in HBO and he has graduated from Washington University. And now I will give a stage to him to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nursultan Amir. I'm currently living in Seattle. I came to United States 4 years ago. I did my master's, as Dana mentioned, at University of Washington, then did an internship and joined HBO right away as a software engineer. And for the last 12, for the past 1 year, I've been working at Meta as a software engineer and developing metaverse and working on the Oculus department.
Mm-hmm. Sounds exciting. So can you please tell us about your journey, how you got offers from different companies like tech giants? Because I heard and listened to a lot of interviews you gave to N-Factorial School and in Russian, I guess, and it was quite engaging and motivating for me to talk about your experience.
Sure. Sounds good. Where should I start? So I would say the overall story starts from the time when I got into N-Factorial, which is a coding bootcamp, where I learned that there are some people from my country that actually have already worked at big tech giants. And previously, I didn't know that it was possible, but at that time, I put myself a goal that I wanna one day work at the big tech company and become a good software engineer expert in my field. So that's when the journey started. I spent a couple of years preparing, finishing my undergrad, failing interviews, trying to get into internships. And that's when I decided that I want to do a master's degree in the United States and then get into big tech giants after my master's degree. And
Here,
it was...
can I clarify something? Did you get a scholarship, state scholarship like Balashak, or did you get it by just the US scholarship?
It was a scholarship from the university that covered the tuition. So it was a 100% tuition waiver, and for the living expenses, I paid myself.
Amazing. Is it only for those individuals who chose computer science major?
I guess so. Yeah, I think so, because it was a general scholarship for merit-based scholarship for students from different countries, for international students. And I'm not sure if it's only computer science, but a couple of my classmates also got the same scholarship. So I guess from my knowledge, it's computer science and systems.
I see. Interesting. Okay. And after the university, you directly started applying to companies.
Yeah, that's true. Directly started. So basically, when I got to master's, my first goal was to get an internship, and using that internship, get into a full-time job. And I applied to like 200 internships and only got one internship at HBO, which I'm grateful for. And it was a great experience. 3 months of summer I spent coding, learning about software engineering and overall US work culture at HBO. And I got a return offer. And at that year, when I was finishing my master's degree, I applied again to big tech companies, but I wasn't able to get to giants like Google and Facebook that year. And I got several offers, but I decided to go to HBO because I really liked the team and my manager at HBO. And then after working there for a year, I decided that this is a time to accomplish my dreams, and then started preparing again. And it took like 6 months for me from from the time I started preparing and to time I started working at Meta. Yeah, it took like 6 months with everything, including preparation, application, and then interviewing is one of the biggest parts, then negotiating the salary and other benefits, and um, uh, also getting the visa done, because I'm here at United States. I'm in work visa, and I got to do visa transfer to work at Meta.
Okay, during your application process, you were in US, right? Not in Kazakhstan.
Yes, I was in US.
Okay. And you were working and also applying at the same time.
Yeah, that was, I would say that was the hardest part, because previously I was either free or a student, which at that time I had a lot of spare time that I could devote to preparation. This time it was a little bit hard for me to juggle between my full-time job and also the preparation, and also maintaining myself. So I spent like um, more than 10, 12, up to 16 hours a day, including weekends, just preparing, because I already did fail a lot of times previously. And now that was the time that I make the best out of this journey. So I guess like that dedication and that hard work and focus was one of the reasons why I was able to get that many offers.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you tell me about the way how you prepared for the interviews? Like, for instance, for the average people who's just starting their journey in software engineering or computer science, what they need to do? Can they study like self-study, or is it important to get the university, degree abroad and then apply?
Sure, that's a great question. So before I jump into that question, how much into detail should I get? Um,
Well, you just can explain the process, how you applied, and then just tell us about, is it so important to get a degree in US to start working there? I heard
That's
it's really hard to get the job in US, right? Because they rather focus on the people in working and living in US rather than from outsiders. Maybe it's a
that's yeah, that's a valid question. So I think there are two parts to this question. First part is, do you need to get a degree in United States to basically get a job in terms of visa and in terms of knowledge?
Mhm.
So in terms of knowledge, you don't need to get a degree in United States. Even I believe that you don't need to actually get a degree to do software engineering at all. There are a lot more efficient ways and a lot more short ways to actually learn software engineering from scratch. That might be boot camps, that might be other courses, even free courses. That's hard, but that is very focused on software engineering or any other field that you want to work on in computer science or IT. Um, but so basically, you can get a job without a computer science degree. However, getting a job after a degree is a lot easier because of a couple of reasons. First reason is that the major reason is that you have a work visa after your degree, after finishing either undergrad or master's degree in United States. You get a practical training visa that is usually 3 years, and you can work easily in United States for 3 years. So I would say that the question and um, um, basically obstacles with visa at United States is one of the most hardest reasons why people are not able to get a job in the United States. The other thing is that when you are actually a student, there are a lot of opportunities for you to do internships, get an experience, and also get a return offers to join the company even before you have finished your undergrad or master's degree,
Yeah.
which is a great opportunity as well. Um, Yep, and also I should note that the competition in the United States is severe and hard. So whenever you are coming from, you should expect to to basically have a lot of competition.
I see. Okay, interesting. I know that you need to apply for the job 1 year before, I don't know, like years before to get the job sometimes. For instance, some of my acquaintances got their job only after graduating, after 3 months, 4 months, so they had to prolong their study visa. Interesting. Okay, let's move to the next question. I actually wanted to know about the time when you had a tipping point and breakthrough moments in your career. Like, for instance, maybe it's challenging parts of your journey, or kind of when you felt that you need to step down and then rethink some of
Mhm.
for you.
That's a really good question. So I can talk about how I ended up in computer science. After finishing school, I was foolish and I didn't know where I want to go. So I decided to do a law degree. I wanted to be a lawyer, and uh, right away I didn't like it because I don't like reading very boring books, which is law, uh, in my opinion. So I decided to drop out and restart again, and at that time truly understand what I'm good at. I was good at math and technical subjects. So, and the information systems and computer science was a technical subject, and it was also becoming very popular. So I decided to go to computer science, and I loved it right away. And that was, I would say, one of the tipping points when I decided that I would risk it, but I would find a better, basically, a field or a job that I like more than the law or law degree that I was at. The other tipping point that I wanna say is that so that dream of working at big tech company was so prominent that in 2017, I decided to, after finishing my undergrad, I decided to quit my job and fully dedicate myself to preparing for interviews and for preparing for master's degree, because I thought that I really want to basically accomplish my dream, get to my dream, but without having a full focus on preparing for interviews and for master's degree tests. I thought that it will be, I wouldn't be putting all my effort into getting to my dream.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the main ingredient for success, I believe, to focus. Um, yeah, I wanted to also ask about the tests that you applied. You just mentioned what kind of tests you took to apply for University of Washington. Is it GMAT, GRE?
It was English test, TOEFL or IELTS,
Yeah.
and I personally took IELTS. I don't know why, because usually you should take TOEFL to get into United States, but I guess I was more familiar with IELTS, so I decided to take IELTS. And I also took GRE, and basically the motivation letter, recommendation letters, and scholarship letters also took some time because my English was not very good, especially in writing. So I spent quite some time to prepare those documents as well.
I see. Okay. Actually, I wanted to ask another question. It's more about like qualitative. I mean, maybe it sounds ridiculous, but I really want to understand, how do you negotiate your salary? For instance, you accepted so many, like you received so many offers. For example, I have the same situation, and how do you make sure that, how do you manage this relationship in the sense that, you know, you are asking for the salary range, you are given a salary range, or just received an offer of a letter of offer, and then how do you come back to the HR and say you are not satisfied with that salary and you want more? Like, is it?
That's a very good question. I really like the topic of negotiation because I had, to this day, I had 2 rounds of big negotiation. First, when I got into HBO, I also negotiated my salary, and then when I basically got into big tech giants, I also negotiated my salary, and I gained quite a lot of knowledge and experience in negotiation. So the tips that I can share is that, at least in the United States, I guess it is applicable to most of the countries. The market works that way that people usually don't get paid only because they are good at what they do, but also because they can negotiate and sell themselves well. So what is the easiest way to sell yourself is basically have a competing offers. For example, if you have an offer from Facebook, from Meta, and also you have an offer from Google, then those big tech giants are basically competitors of each other. And if, for example, Google is offering more than Meta, then you can use that salary, that numbers, to bet against Meta, saying that, okay, I really like Facebook, but in financial terms, Google is offering, for example, 20,000 more. Do you think you can beat that offer? You'd ask that to Facebook, and Facebook, if they really want to, and usually because other big tech giants and competitors want you, it is a very big sign that probably you are a good candidate, because you already got a basically you were confirmed that you're a good candidate, but by other companies. And so other competitors would match the salary. And the other thing is that, so there are a couple of things. First thing is, this is a very non-solid liquid ground where you should be very tactical about what you're doing, because it is about communication. Negotiation is all about communication, is how you basically sell yourself, how you show that you like the company, and what are the reasons why you're asking money. Because if you're not tactical and respectful of the recruiter and the company, then there's a very high chance that that a recruiter might not want to work with you. So it is very important to know that you should be respectful. The other part is that in negotiation, there are a couple of steps that involved in negotiation. First one is making sure that the starting point for all the offers that you got, or the offers that you're interested in, are on the same level. Imagine that you got an offer from Meta and Google, and right away Meta is offering you $20,000 more, and you can ask Google right away that, okay, Meta is offering that much, and I want you to match that salary so that you can make a good comparison between those companies, because salary is not the only thing, is not the only important thing that in choosing a company. So after that, when you have the baseline, the starting salary on the same level, then you can start exploring, basically doing a second round, which is some of the companies would not only match but also beat other companies, because they want to, for example, Google saw that Meta is offering you 20,000 more, and they will offer you 30,000. So you're already 10K ahead of Facebook. And next round is actually use that information
and go back to Facebook again.
Go back to Facebook again and say that, okay, now Google is offering 10,000 more, and basically do that in couple of rounds. That's usually at most 2 rounds, because after that it might get suspicious and not very respectful that you're just trying to squeeze money. And the last part is usually, especially if you have a couple of offers that are trying to get you with everything that they got, then you can use that offers when you basically got the everything out of them, not everything, but the highest that you got from those couple of rounds. The last part, which is I like the most, is that, for example, imagine that Google and Facebook are now on the same level, on a similar level in terms of pay. And I was interested in Meta more. I was interested in Facebook. So I said to Facebook that, okay, now the pay is similar. I'm really interested in Facebook. I wanna, if you make a, let's say 20,000 more increase in pay, then I would join you right away. So that is called a basically that you give your word that if they increase the salary, then you would sign the offer right away.
I see. So yeah, you are valuable talent. They don't want to lose you, maybe. That's interesting. What about the promotion, for instance? If you want to ask for a promotion, how would you make a strategy to get for instance, to be promoted? I'm sure that you have your career strategy, and I don't know if it's long term or short term. Maybe you want to become a CEO of Facebook, but like in order to achieve, you already achieved your offer of getting into Facebook, and now what's your long-term goal, and what's your strategy to achieve it?
That's a great question. So I'm realizing that my goals tend to change from time to time, but overall the current goal set that I have is at least grow to become a senior engineer at big tech company, and make sure that I'm really interested in what I'm doing in the product, in the team, in the company culture, and a vision of the company and the team. So in terms of creating a career strategy, first things first, you should understand the rules of the game. What are those? So rules of the game is how the career progression is designed in the company that you're working for. Specifically for Meta, they're basically there are requirements for each level that you should, skills and expectations that you should have to be a senior or a staff or any other engineer level. So you should fully understand what they are referring to, those expectations, and work with your tech lead or manager to make sure that you are satisfying those requirements, and what are the steps or projects or goals that you need to have to satisfy those requirements. When you do satisfy those requirements, you can work with your manager to basically put your candidacy for a promotion. And this sounds maybe a little bit short and easy, but in real life, this is a usually a long-term process where you build up everything, and it takes quite some time, especially when you get into higher levels.
I see. Okay, good to know. I wish I could have listened this advice before I was joining to the company abroad. All right, and the last question, maybe not last. What do you like about your current work, and what excites you? And if it's not confidential, what projects you are working on?
Sure. So first question was, what do I like and what excites me? Sounds good. So there are two things that I like about my job. First one is actually doing the job. The second one is working at a big tech company and its benefits. So let me start with benefits. I really like that Facebook does, and a lot of big tech companies do care about their employees. We have benefits. The one that I enjoy most is the free food. That is a game changer because I get food 3 times a day that saves me, first of all, time and money. I think that time and energy is the most important
Ingredient
benefit.
for productivity. Yeah.
Yes, because I don't have to think about what I'm gonna eat. It's already there. I just go, and it takes less time and less energy to basically have my meals. And there are tons of other benefits like a wellness reimbursement, which gives $3,000 a year for sport activities, even sport equipment, and like health benefits, a great office. Even we have gym in the office that saves, again, time and energy. The second part is the work that I do. What really excites me is that I'm working on a technology that has not been released yet. So even now I'm working on some devices that are confidential. So we're working on confidential devices, which is, I feel like, working on basically that feels very so to say exceptional, because nobody knows what are the next technologies, the future of augmented and virtual reality. That's what my organization is working on. And the other thing that excites me is that I'm usually very challenged. So I feel that I'm the most stupid one in the room, which is very humbling,
Yeah,
but
you
it is,
want to learn more from the people who knows better. It's kind of
yeah, yeah, for sure. It is always stepping out of your comfort zone and realizing your potential to the fullest. That's what I like about challenge. That's what excites me, because I wanna make sure that when I'm old, I would look back into my life and I would say, okay, I was able to realize all my potential and live to my fullest potential. Um, the About the specifics of the work, I can definitely tell, because the some of the technology that I've been working on, some of the software that I've been working on, has already been released. So if you know, there is a headset called Oculus, which is a virtual reality headset, and there's a package called spatial anchors, which is, in a nutshell, the Oculus headset basically scans the surrounding, creates a 3D map of the surrounding that can be used to provide some functionality for the users. And the specific functionality that I'm working on is, on that 3D map, it's not useful if we cannot place things onto that 3D map. So that's called spatial anchors. basically creating a points, 3D points or anchors in 3D space. For example, you can put on the headset, you can look into the wall, and there's a point or anchor where I would put a TV, or I would put a chess board on a table.
You can even play, right, with other people.
Yeah,
Who's joining
you can do that.
part of the world. You can.
Yeah. And when people basically look either at the chessboard or the wall, they would see the objects on their locations, no matter where they're looking from. So it is making sure that virtual objects stay at the same place.
Amazing. Okay, that sounds interesting, intriguing. I'm looking forward to the future product of that Meta we're gonna produce. So yeah, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you joining and sharing about your experience. And I really hope you have a great day today. And thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.